I'm Anna Victoria, creator of the Fit Body app, and today I'm going to go over a move that you can do from home and also go over the progressions and regressions, which means a more difficult and an easier version, also because I am currently pregnant. So these are pregnancy safe moves and also great for beginners and knowing how to progress as you go on to get stronger. So we are going to do a push-up. So I'm going to start with the easiest version, which will be knee push-ups. You want to be sure that your upper body is not sunk under. You actually want your shoulder blades to be slightly rounded over, but just braced. So not like that. You just want to be sure that you're braced. Your hand placement, you want your elbows to be going back, okay? So no flaring out to the side. So breathe in as you lower yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Just like that. And you want to push up through all of your fingers so that you're not pushing more on the inside or on the outside. And of course, be sure to keep your core tight. So that is the easiest version. Next, if you're ready for a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to do an incline push-up. So you grab a chair or any sort of platform. The higher the platform, the easier it is. The lower the platform, the more difficult it is. So keep that in mind. So I'm just going to grab a chair since I'm at home. And you want to be sure that your body is in a straight line, okay? So you don't want your hips drooping and you don't want your hips raised up in the air. Body in a straight line. Core braced. So right here, it's relaxed. And that is going to make it harder for me to keep my body in a straight line because now my spine isn't supported and I'm starting to droop under. So keep that core tight. Elbows back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you want to be sure that when you are lowering yourself, you're not lowering your hips necessarily, you're lowering your upper body and your hips are just following and you're keeping your body in a straight line, okay? So it really should be lowering your upper body, pushing up with your upper body. Now for the third version, a regular push-up, so just on the ground. But very, very important with all of these is your hand placement. So like I said, do not let your elbows flare out. You can kind of think of that emoji that's like this. So turn those palms out and that is naturally going to force your elbows to be tucked back, okay? Keep your core tight. So this is relaxed. Okay, brace it. It's not necessarily sucking in. It's really engaging your TVA, your transverse abdominis muscles. Body in a straight line. Core braced. Inhale as you lower yourself. Exhale as you push up. All right. And those are your 3 push-up variations that you can do from home. I'm going to walk you through a core move that you can do from home, and I'm going to go over progressions and regressions, which means a more difficult version and an easier version. I'm also pregnant right now, and core moves with pregnancy are a little bit different. You can't do any crunch type moves. So this is going to be a dead bug and different dead bug variations. But I do want to point out that at some point, your belly will get too big, the baby will get too big, and that puts pressure on your spine and other things. So if this does not feel comfortable for you, then I would skip core workouts for now on your back and you can do something like a plank, okay? But if you are not pregnant or if you are not at the point where it's too much pressure, then dead bugs are an amazing move to do for strengthening your core. All right, so we're gonna start with the most simple version, which is going to be dead bug toe taps. And really important is no arch in your lower back, okay? So back flat to the ground. You're gonna slightly internally rotate your pelvis and you are going to raise your arms up and you want your knees at a 90-degree angle, okay? And you wanna try to prevent them from coming in too far or going out too much. When it goes out, that's going to cause you to kind of raise your back up off the ground, but that's where you really gotta work and keep that back flat, okay? So for the toe taps version, you are going to be lowering opposite arm, opposite leg. Keep those knees at a 90-degree angle, okay? And you're going to return. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you come back up. So this is a really small movement, but it's just a really great kind of practice move before you do move up to full dead bugs. And this is already going to be a good little challenge for keeping your back on the ground. All right, now we're going to move on to the full dead bugs. I'm going to scoot up a bit. So this is where you're going to be fully extending your leg out instead of the taps. So knees at a 90-degree angle. You're going to lower opposite arm, opposite leg. Keep that back flat. Don't let it raise up, okay? And you're going to extend all the way. Keep that back flat and return. Remember to breathe properly. Inhale as you're lowering. Exhale as you return. All right, so the last version of dead bugs is you're going to grab a weight. You're going to put it in both hands above you. And same thing, raise your legs to a 90-degree angle. Keep that back flat. And you're going to lower this time both, since you are holding the weight. Exhale as you return. Just like that. Keep that back flat. And then with adding the weight, of course, the heavier the weight, the more difficult it is. So that's another way to continue progressing this move. This move, like I said, is going to focus on your posterior chain. So essentially your entire backside, strengthening that. Especially, like I said, when you have a growing belly, you're going to be kind of forward heavy, front heavy, and you need a strong posterior chain to help balance you out. So for the good morning, you can do this with weights or without. If you're just starting out, try it without to really get the movement pattern down. So you are going to hinge your hips, okay? And you want your hips to be going back the same time your back is bending over. So imagine for a hip hinge, imagine that you're pointing your booty to the wall behind you, okay? So you are going into an anterior pelvic tilt. All right, just like that. You're going to be feeling it on your hamstrings. And when you stand, push through your heels, and that's really going to activate your glutes. Now, like I said, you want your hips to be moving the same time your back is. So you don't want to go over with your back like this and then hinge your hips, all right? You want them to be in unison, so at the same time, just like that. Keep your core tight, push up and exhale. So that is a good morning. You can have your hands up like this, or you can even have weights and rest them on your shoulders or a barbell. And then the next step up would be a staggered stance, stiff leg deadlift. So this is going from 2 feet to kind of like 1.5. So you're gonna have this one in the front, and then you're just gonna be resting on like your tippy toes in the back, and that's just for balance. But the same things apply. You are going to be hinging your hips, okay? The majority of the weight will be on this front leg, all right? And you're gonna be feeling it on your hamstring here. Hinge those hips, push up, and exhale, all right? So inhale as you bend over and hinge, exhale. And you want a slight bend in your knee. You just don't want it to be completely locked out, especially when you have weights. So just a slight bend. Definitely not a full bend, okay? And then you would always want to switch sides since this is a kind of one-sided move. Okay, so you inhale and then exhale. Now we're going to move up to a single leg deadlift. So instead of resting on your tippy toe right here, you're going to completely raise it up off of the ground. This move requires a lot of balance. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't have amazing balance, so I have to really work on this. And one really important tip is to find one spot on the ground and look at that, okay? So, same thing applies as far as breathing. You're going to inhale as you go over, exhale as you go up. That's really also going to help with controlling your body through the movement. So, you can have a weight in your hand if you would like, or you can do it non-weighted. So, you're going to inhale and then exhale as you stand. Push up through that heel. You can even pause at the peak to really get that glute engagement. You're going to be feeling it in the glute and the hamstring of the leg that is on the ground. Stop when your body is at about parallel. And then return. Really important with this move that your back, your head, you don't want your head to be up like this as you're going down, okay? You want your neck to be in line with your spine, and then you want your back and your leg to be like a plank of wood, okay? So your back is here, your leg is here, and as you lower your back, you're hinging your hips and your back leg is raising. So you don't want to dip your back over and then raise your leg, okay? That's not it. You don't want to raise your leg and then your back, okay? Everything should be in unison. So, let me take a breath. All right, and then you want to repeat on the opposite side. All right, two things. You want your back knee to be straight, so not bent. You can either have your foot hammered or pointed, doesn't make a huge difference. But one really important thing to point out is it's totally normal to have one side be more coordinated or balanced than the other. This is my more coordinated side, this one is not, and that's okay. But that does mean that it's really important to be sure that you are working both sides so you don't create an even bigger imbalance. All right, those are your stiff leg deadlift variations. I hope you enjoyed them. I'll see you guys next time.